Josh has some tiles. Each tile is 10 centimeters long. 2 tiles fitted together are 18 centimeters long. Calculate the length of 5 tiles fitted together. So we know that one tile is 10 centimeters long, and that means the tile that's fitted together must be an extra 8 centimeters. So this first tile will take up 10 centimeters, and then we'll have 8, 8, 8 and 8. So we can work out the total length by adding 10 and then 4 8s. 4 times 8 is 32, and if we add that to 10, we get 42 centimeters as the length of 5 tiles fitted together. This shape has been made from 2 isosceles triangles. What is the size of angle P? So we need to work out this angle here, but to do that we need to find the other angles in our triangles. So we can remember that isosceles triangles have 2 equal angles. So if this angle is 35 degrees, this angle will be 35 as well. And this angle here will be 35 because this triangle is also isosceles. Now angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we have 35 and 35, so 70, and if we subtract that from 180, we know that this angle here and this angle here must be 110 degrees. So now we can remember that angles around a point add up to 360. So we have a point here, and if we have 110 and 110, that's 220 altogether. So if we subtract that from 360, we get 140. So angle P is 140 degrees. A cube has shaded shapes on 3 of its faces. Here is a net of the cube. Draw in the 2 missing shaded shapes. So we can see that the face at the top of the cube is this face here, and that means that this face is hidden because this face will be the face that's on this side. Now this face will fold around, so this edge will meet this edge, and this face is the face at the front. So on this face we have a semicircle, so we need to draw our semicircle here. That way when the 2 edges join together, we'll have a circle like we see here. And then when this face folds around, this face here will fold all the way around and cover this edge. So that's the face on the left of what we can see. So we have a rectangle on this face, and we need to draw our rectangle here because this edge is going to meet with this edge here. So we have our 2 missing shaded shapes. N stands for a number. Match the equivalent expressions. One has been done for you. So they've told us that n plus 5 is matched to n plus 5. We need to match 2 less than n. So we can match that to n minus 2, because if we subtract 2 from a number, we have 2 less than that number. And n plus n is the same as 2n, because if we add a number to itself, that's the same as multiplying by 2, and 2n means 2 times n. I'm thinking of a number. I multiply it by 10 and add 25. My answer is 100. What is the number? So before they added 25, they would have had 100 minus 25, so 75. Because if you have 75 and add 25, that gives you 100. So they multiplied by 10 to get 75. So we can divide 75 by 10 because we're working backwards, and 75 divided by 10 is 7.5. So that's the number that they thought of to start with. 75 divided by 10 is 7.5 because dividing by 10 moves the digits one place value to the right. So the 7 in our tens becomes 7 ones, and the 5 in our ones becomes 5 tenths. K, M and N each stand for a whole number. They add together to make 1,500. So K plus M plus N is 1,500. M is 3 times as big as N. K is twice as big as N. Calculate the numbers K, M and N. So M is 3 times as big, so we can use 3 squares for M. K is twice as big as N, so we can use 2 squares for K and 1 square for N. And we know that altogether they add to 1,500. So what we can do is find the value of each square. We have 6 squares altogether on our bar model, so we can divide 1,500 by 6. That gives us 250. So we know that each square of our bar model has a value of 250. So to find M, we can multiply 3 by 250 because we have 3 squares and each square is worth 250. So M is 750. To find K, we can work out 2 times 250, so that's 500, and then N is just 250. Emily makes 250 grams of a snack mixture. 15% of the weight is raisins, 25% is banana chips, and the rest is peanuts. How many grams of peanuts does she use? Well, first, we need to find out what percentage of the mixture is peanuts. We know that 15% is raisins and 25% is banana chips. So that's 40% altogether, which is not peanuts. And because percentages need to total 100%, that tells us that 60% is peanuts. So we can find 60% of 250 grams. A percentage is a fraction with a denominator of 100, but we can simplify 60 hundredths to 6 tenths. So let's find 6 tenths of 250. If we divide 250 by 10, that gives us 25, and then we can multiply by 6 to get 150. So she uses 150 grams of peanuts. Here is an equation. M minus 2n equals 10. When n is 20, what is the value of m? So we have m minus 2n, and 2n means 2 times n. So if n is 20, 2 times 20 is 40. So that means m minus 40 is 10, and we can find out m by working out 10 plus 40, so m is 50. Now, when m equals 20, what is the value of n? So here we have 20 minus 2n equals 10. Now 20 minus 10 is 10, so that means 2n, or 2 times n, is 10, and because 2 times 5 is 10, we know that n must be 5. Circle the largest number. Well, if we write out all of these numbers one below the other, we can start by comparing the largest place value, which here is our millions digit. But this number here is only a 6-digit number. It doesn't have a millions digit, so we know that this will be our smallest number. Now, all of our other numbers have 4 as the millions digit, so we can look across to the hundred thousands. 3 numbers have 9 as the hundred thousands digit, but this number only has a 4, so this will be next smallest. So now, all of the numbers that we have left have 4 in the millions and 9 in the hundred thousands. So we need to move across again and look at our 10,000s digits. We have 4, 9 and 4, so this number with 9 in the 10,000s will be our largest number. So that's 4,994,449. Circle the fraction that is bigger than 7/5. So 7/5 is an improper fraction. It has a larger numerator than denominator, and an improper fraction is larger than 1 whole. Now 5/7 is not an improper fraction. It's a proper fraction. It has a smaller numerator than denominator, so we know that it will be less than 1 whole, so it won't be larger than 7/5. So now let's look at 11/6. To compare fractions, we need the denominators to be the same. So here we have 5 as our denominator, but here we have 6. So we need to compare these by finding an equivalent fraction. 30 is in both the 5 and the 6 times table, so we can find equivalent fractions with a denominator of 30. 11/6 is equivalent to 55/30, and 7/5 equivalent to 42/30. So that means 11/6 is larger than 7/5 because it's equivalent to 55/30, but 7/5 is only equivalent to 42/30. Now 7/10 is not an improper fraction, so we know that that will be less than 1, so less than 7/5. And just to check that we've got the right answer, let's compare 7/5 and 4/3. 15 is in both the 3 and the 5 times table, but when we find our equivalent fraction, 4/3 is only equivalent to 20/15, but 7/5 equivalent to 21/15. So 4/3 is smaller than 7/5.